The living condition of millions of Tigrayans has been devastated as a result of the war and the siege that has blocked delivery of essential items, including food aid. Deputy Head of the Bureau of Health, Dr. Ria Isaias, says that 89% of the people in Tigray remain food insecure, out of which 47% are severely food insecure.
And whenever we see the situation here in Tigray, WFP made this emergency food security assessment. And then according to this WFP emergency food security assessment, 89% of the society is categorized and labeled as food insecure. And like out of those 89%, those 47% are labeled as severely food insecure. So when we see the situation, the food insecurity situation, sadly, like 98% of the central zone is food insecure. 95% of this northwest zone is food insecure. And 90% of southeast is food insecure.
Considering the food insecurity, the deputy head says that malnutrition rate among children under the age of 5 has exceeded the 15% standard for global acute malnutrition and has reached 29%.
The nutritional status here in Tigray of this under 5 children is significantly high, which is expressed in number. Around 68,000 children under 5 are now categorized or are labeled as severely acute, affected by severely acute malnutrition. Not only this amount, which is affected by severe acute malnutrition, almost around 257 children under 5 are also affected by moderate acute malnutrition. And this, whenever we evaluate this, so there is an evaluating standard which is called global acute malnutrition, which sum up this severely acute malnourished and moderate acute malnourished children. So together, it accounts for around 29.
In light of the more than a year-long blockade on the region, Dr. Reyes says the Bureau is finding it very difficult to provide nutritious supplies to the under 5 children who have been identified as suffering from severe acute malnutrition and moderate acute malnutrition. The deputy head also says that the RTF that is distributed to severely acute malnourished children remains far from being enough.
Why we are becoming worried about this situation is because we were unable to address the intervention needed to those amount of children under 5, because since January 2021 only around 2,000 metric ton is arrived here in Tigray to address the demand for intervention. And currently we were out of stock. Actually these days UNICEF brings around 9,000 carton RTF, which is supplied to trade for the severe acute malnourished. But when you compare and when you try to check this event, it is almost nil when we compare with the demand and the already in hand enrolled children to be treated.
Dr. Rie highlighted that the resumption of the war is likely to exacerbate the already dire nutritional crisis in Tigray, as this would hamper the delivery of the limited items the Bureau has been receiving. He says the blockade of supplies would mean a death sentence to the more than 68,000 severely acute malnourished children.
This resumption of war is literally mean those who are enrolled on treatment, particularly those children under 5, is like letting them to be out of this treatment, and then by definition this is letting them to die. So imagine, I'm talking about 68,000 of children under 5. I'm talking about 257 children of under 5 who are malnourished moderately and who are malnourished severely.
The deputy head calls on the international community to intervene immediately and save the lives of the thousands of children before it is too late.
In this situation, and in this situation where I mentioned the number of beneficiaries who demand the therapeutic intervention and eliciting war is literally unacceptable, and the international community should intervene and should act.